Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. My name's Philip Reynolds, and this is the Pavilion. This is episode number 8. Um, my content here is meant for adults. It's not kid-friendly. As you can see on the ticker at the bottom, we have the 72 A's versus the 76 Reds. Basically, we're going with the Christmas theme today. We're going green versus red today. So we're going with the little Christmas motif. It's been about a month since I've been on, and I've been trying to figure out OBS, and I hate to say it, but I'm completely lost. Somebody will have to really show me how to use OBS because, like I said, I'm just completely lost. Our pitchers today are for the Reds, we have Don Gullett. He's a grade C, no other markers. And for the A's, we have Ken Holtzman. He's a grade B pitcher with a Z notation. The Reds are fielding 1, and the A's are fielding 2. The lineup for the A's is Campaneris, Rudy, Alou, Epstein, Bando, Jackson, Tennis, Green, and Holtzman. First of all, I substituted Jackson for the original player that's mentioned in Baseball Reference because Jackson did not play in Game 1 of the '72 World Series. As a matter of fact, I don't think he played at all during that series. Looking at the Baseball Reference stuff, and when I get to the bottom of the first, I will give you the Reds lineup. So we're going to go to the top of the first, and let's see. Yeah, that's good. Let's switch cameras here. And Campaneris will be our first batter. And we have a 61, which is a 27. And that is out at first base, third base to first base. I believe that's, oh man. Let's see. That's 5-3. And that's one away for the A's. All right. All right, we have 61, and that is 40. And that's a foul ball. So we will roll again. 34 is a 31. Let's fly out to center field. 2 up, 2 down. Lou up. It's 22, and that's 7. Gullett being a C pitcher. That is our first hit of the game. So we have a runner at first. Right. $53 is a 19. Out at first. So yeah, it's out at first. 5-3. Sorry. Okay. All right. All right. Score is 0, and the Reds are due up with Rose batting first. All right. Bottom of the first. And there's our Reds lineup. Comes around. We got Rose, Griffey, Morgan, Perez, Foster, Bench, Geronimo, Concepcion, and Gullett. Okay. All right, we have a 26 for Pete Rose. Fielding 2. 26 is a 30. That's a fly out to left field. Okay. Griffey is a 13. That will be a walk. So that will put Griffey at first. Morgan up. Let's see, 32. Fielding 2. That's a fly out to right. Runner holds. Okay. Perez up. 44 is an 8. And that is 5-3, so that is an out. Perez is out. And our score is 0-0. We're in the top of the second. Bando is up for the A's. $16, that's 28. The grade C pitcher. Oh, wait a minute. That's a shortstop to first baseman. And that will bring Reggie Jackson to the plate. Brings a 56. 34, that's a fly out to the shortstop. Team tennis up. 31 is a 9. And that's a foul out to the third baseman. Okay. Zero to 0. The Reds are due up. Foster is batting. .26, and as you see, that is a strikeout. Brings up Johnny Bench. 46 is a 13. That's 2 strikeouts. Brings up Geronimo. That's 42, which is a 14. That is a walk, and that will put Geronimo at first. brings up Concepcion. It's 14, that's 30. Fielding 2. And that is a fly out to left field. Okay. Yep. Sorry about that. Top of the third. There is no score yet. And Dick Green is up for the A's. 41 is a 24. And that's shortstop to first baseman. That's an out. Bring Holtzman up to the plate. .21, and that is a strikeout. That brings Campaneris up to the plate. Yep. That's a 46, and that is a strikeout as well. We have Don Gullett for the Reds in the bottom of the third here. Bottom of the third. There is no score. And Gullett is batting. 23 to 27. And fielding 1. That's third baseman to first baseman. Yeah, third baseman to first baseman. It's 1 away. Rose back up for the Reds. .63 is a 34 with fielding 2. That's a fly out to the shortstop. Griffey up. It's 45, and that will be a walk. That puts Griffey on at first. Morgan up. To 33, and that is a 5. And that is a double over first base, and that will put runners at first and third. Put runners at first and third. And Perez up at the plate. All right. 22 is a 6. First and third. Oh, 22 is a 6. The grade B pitcher. That's a double, and it clears the bases. It'll clear the bases, which means there's a man at second. And 2 runs will score for the Reds. Okay. It's now, and we're in the bottom of the third, and that brings Foster to the plate. And there are 2 outs. Yeah, that's right. There's 2 outs. And that is a 4. The man at second. And that is a triple for Foster, which means Perez score. So we have a triple by Foster, scoring Perez. Score's now 3-0. With bench up. 46, and that is a strikeout by bench. Finally, the retiring the side. After in the bottom of the third there, after bench strikes out, that's finally retiring the side, but the Reds managed to get 3 runs in the bottom of the third inning there. And we go to the top of the fourth with Rudy, our batter. All right. Let's see how we do here. That is a 15, and that is 7. With a grade C pitcher, that is a single to right. And that will put Rudy at first. All right. Yeah, I shaved a bit, Festus, and good to see you, Sean and Tony, and we're here in the top of the fourth, and as you see, I'm using StreamYard's new ticker little icons there to bring you the score and some news about the teams and stuff like that. So I'm trying to when I'm using that, I can't really see the comments because I have to use the banners. But Alou had a 54 there, which is 32, and with a man at first. Fielding one, that's a out to right field. That'll bring Epstein to the plate. Oh, wait a minute. Can't. I didn't have both dice in there. All right, we got a 61 there to 41. Man at first. And that will be a double play. Second baseman to shortstop and shortstop to first base. So that's a double play. So that's that's 4 to 6, 6 to 3. And that will end the top of the fourth. And we move over to the Reds part of the inning. Three zero, bottom of the fourth. That will bring Geronimo to the plate. All right, that's 42. That's a 14. That will be a walk. That puts Geronimo at first. Okay, puts Concepcion up. And that is 1. And we will re-roll to see what's in the second column. It's 24, which is a 6 with a gray B pitcher. That's a double over first. If this guy, if Geronimo is fast, if the last batter is he fast? Yes, he is fast, which means that according to these rules, that Geronimo will score. So that's a double. And Geronimo scores. So that will put Concepcion at second. And it will bring Don Gullett up. And with a man at second, let's see here. He's going to bunt with a runner at second. And we will see how this pans out. That is a 53, which is 21. And it says error on first, runner to third, first baseman fumbles bunt, error on the first baseman. So they both are on. So you have runners at first and third. There was an error there on the first baseman. So you got runners at first and third. All right. Which brings Rose up. $45 to 14. And that will load the bases. So we now have the bases loaded with Griffey up. And we'll see how it pans out here. That was a 46. And that is, with bases loaded, Holtzman walks in a run. Now the score is 5-0 Reds, with Morgan up, and the bases are still loaded. It's 52. Let's see here. 52 is 27 on fielding 2. Batter safe at first. Runner forced at home. Others advance 1 base. So we have out at first. The runner here at third is out home, and everybody else moves up a base. So we have runners at second and third. We have runners at second and third, and we have 1 out. Let's see. 3. The guy at third out. So that's 1, 2. It's 2 outs. Men at second and third. And Perez will be up to the plate. It's 14 is a 30. Men at second and third. And fielding 2. And that it will be a fly out to left field. So after 4, going to the top of the 5th, it's a 5-0 Reds ball game. We got Bando coming up in the top of the 5th first. .64, and that will be a strikeout. That will bring Reggie Jackson up to the plate for the second time today. It's 26, and he strikes out. Bring Gene Tennis. Be 14, which is a 30. And that will be a fly out to left field. And that will bring Green up the next inning. And Okay. Bottom of the fifth, Foster's up first. Scores 5-0 Reds. That's 24, and that's a strikeout for Foster. Bench. Oh, that's on the card, so we can't consider that. 43, which is a 29. Fielding 2. That's pitcher to the first baseman. It's 1-3. That will bring Geronimo up to the plate. And that's a 14. And that's 30. Fielding 2. That's a fly out to left field. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the Reds in the bottom of the fifth. Top of sixth. We got Green up in the top of the sixth. It's 43, which is 29. And that's pitcher to first baseman. That's an out. Pitcher 3. Okay. Holtzman is due up, but the A's are going to bring in a pinch hitter here. And we're going to bring in, since he was the originally in this game, we're going to bring in Hendrick as the pinch hitter here. Okay. Let's see how he does. With nobody on. To 51, and he strikes out. Whoa. Two away, and Campaneris is up. And that will cause for a second roll, double sixes. And that is a home run by Campaneris. Campaneris finally gets the A's on the board in the sixth. So we got a 5-1 ball game. Rudy up. 53, which is a 17. And that is a fly out to right field. And that will end the inning for the A's. But they finally get a home run to get on the board. And in the bottom of the sixth, it's the Reds, 76 Reds, 5, and the 72 Oakland A's, 1. Okay. The 6. Go to Concepcion. Right. All right, we got Concepcion, and we have to get a new pitcher for the A's, and starter. Okay. We are let's see. Okay. We're bringing in Locker for Holtzman. As you can see, he's a grade B pitcher with Y and Z notations. And that will bring us to Concepcion's at bat. And with that, we have 34, which is a 31. And fielding 2, that's a fly out to center field. And we'll bring up Gullett. It's 22, and that is an 8. We got a great B pitcher. It's a fly out to the center fielder. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Rose. 34, 31. And that is fielding 2. And that will be a fly out to center fielder. Center fielder got all those outs that inning, and that will bring up Alou for the A's. We go to the top of the 7th. With the score 5-1. To 26. It'll be a 27 for Lou, and that's third baseman to first baseman. 5-3 put out. Brings Epstein up. It's 52, and that's 27. And that's third to first baseman as well. Which brings Bando up. 23, and that's a 12. And that is third baseman to first baseman. That's an out as well. 3 up, 3 down. That brings up 7th inning stretch. So far, guys, it's been all Reds except for Campaneris' home run in the top of the 6th inning. Yeah, it's that instead of take me out to the ball game, it's more like Jingle Bells time, guys. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. We're at the ballpark. Let's get a beer and some hot dogs and continue on with the game. I hope that you all get everything that you are hoping for tomorrow. I'm not really hoping for a lot. I'm just pretty much mom and dad are going to get me some pots and pans so that I can finally cook here in my apartment. For the most part, it's been pretty much because of how close I am. I've been going to restaurants because they're really close by, and I'm talking about fast food restaurants. I ate it, brought home some Little Caesar pizza back this evening. So yeah, just a lot of fast food restaurants in the Pavilion area where I'm at. So we'll go to Griffey here in the bottom of the 7th. Right. Let's see what we get. I'm going to re-roll that because that's kind of leaning on the cards. Yep, same thing. There we go. I got a 41, which is a 28. Fielding 2. And that will be shortstop to first baseman. Six three brings up Morgan to the plate. 1 away. No. There we go. 31, and that will be a 9. With a grade B pitcher, that's a single over short. And that will put Morgan over there at first. And Perez up at the plate. It's a 63, which is a 32. Fielding. That's a runner holds at first, and that's let's see. Morgan got a single. Oh. And Foster, 63, 32. Okay, that's out at right field, and which is a 7, and so that will be the end of the inning for the Reds. Going to the top of the 8th. And we have Jackson up for the 3rd time tonight. $20, 23 is a 12. And against fielding 1, that's 3rd to 1st. That's a 5-3. We'll put tennis up. $46, and that's a strikeout. Puts Green up. To 53. To 20. And that's an error on the second baseman, so that will be that's considered all right. And that will bring up Locker. And we have a man at first and 2 outs. Geez. Locker's going to have to hit here, unfortunately. 34. And that's a fly out to shortstop. So after going into the bottom of the 8th, Okay. We have bench. Let's see how we have. Yeah, we have bench up for the Reds in the bottom of the eighth here. Bench up. 62. And that's a strikeout for bench. Geronimo. That's a 33. As you can see, 33, which means we'll have to roll again for the second column. And that's a 26, which is a 6. The gray B pitcher, that's a double. So that will put Geronimo at second. With one out, Concepcion is due up. We have a 63 and a 31 with fielding 2. That means out at right field. So that will bring, that brings up Gullett, but the Reds, I think, are going to go with Bourbon in the top of the ninth, and they're going to bring up Armbruster for Gullett this inning. Okay. And as you see, that's going to bring up our second column here. 36 is a 6. And with a man at second, says wild pitch, runner to third. Which still puts Armbruster up at the plate. And 15, that is a 1. Eddie Armbruster just hits another home run, hits a home run in place of Gullett. And so that means 2 runs will score. And That makes the score 7-1 Reds. Puts Rose up with 2 out. And that's a 35, which would be a 9. Runner on third, 9. Grade B. Says single through short, runner scores, batter out trying for second. So that means that G35, 9. I'm looking at the wrong thing because there was just a 35, 9. It's a single because there was nobody on base. So that puts Rose at first because there was just a home run by Armbruster. So Rose is at first. And that will bring up Griffey. And that will lead us, 2 1s will lead us to second column. 56, which is a 6. And that is a double to right center, which will put runners at second and third. All right. Puts Morgan up. 33, and that's a 5. And then it's second and third. 33 is a 5. Grade B pitcher. Triple to deep left. So Morgan scores 2 more runs. And the Reds are now leading 9-1. And that means that Locker is going to be taken out. And they will put in Waleski for Locker. Okay. And that will put Perez up with 2 out, and a man at third. It's 42. That's 37. Okay. And that will be a pop out to first base. Took a while, but the took a while, but the A's finally got out of that inning. And with Bourbon will be our new pitcher for the Reds. He's going to be our closing pitcher. He's going to be our closing pitcher. And we're up at the top of the inning, in the top of the ninth. It's 36. And that is a 33. Let's fly out to the second baseman. Brings Rudy up. 25. And that is 8. And Bourbon is he's considered grade B. And that's a fly out to center field. And that will bring up Lou with 2 outs. Can we get something started here? All right. Lou with 2 outs here. That is a 45, and he gets a walk. So Lou manages to keep the A's alive for one more at bat at least. Which brings Epstein to the plate. And that is a 56, which will be a 29. And that's pitcher to first baseman. And that, my friends, will end the game. And we can write a final on that one. With the Reds winning today's game, Reds win today's game by a score of 9-1, and it was pretty much toast after the third inning because they were up 3-0 after 3, and before Campaneris got his home run in the 6th, the Reds were up 5-0. So yeah, it was this one was over early, quick, and yeah. So in the battle of red versus or green, I should say green versus red today, the Reds win 9-1. Um, I hope to see you back here next time. I'm not sure when that'll be, but I also wanted to let you know to uh, I'm going to be doing a Christian devotional channel. You might want to check out that. That's going to be called Raymond Now, which means God's word for today for now. Um, and I have two devotionals on Christmas coming up, um, based on what I've recently been given, and they're based off of the Christmas story in Luke chapter 2. So look out for that. And today's final, guys, was 9-1 Reds. It was over early, and the A's just couldn't couldn't come back. And I even tried to give the A's a kind of edge by putting Jackson in, see if that might help them and unfortunately in this one it didn't. But you know how the games go. When you roll them today, you get 9-1, and tomorrow you get 9-1 the other way. But just keep rolling the dice, and if anybody can teach me how to use OBS, I would surely appreciate it. Um, but to me, I'm just going to use pretty much StreamYard and YouTube until I can figure out how to use OBS and that. And take care, guys, and have a Merry Christmas. And I hope you get everything that you're looking for. Good night.